Hey guys, welcome to the Colin with the Boys podcast. My name is Asen, and I'm here with my co-host Nathan.
What up?
This is episode 17 titled Jason of All Trades, and you'll get to know why here in a little bit. This guy is a workhorse.
Literally does it all.
He's an actual horse, like he's a horse at his computer that does a lot of work. No, but our guest today is Jason, aka MasterSitak. We talked to him about organizing esports community events, the transition from a Twitch affiliate to a Twitch partner, and all the things he has been involved in the past year, which is a ton. This dude's really busy. So it was a pleasure having him on. So sit back, relax. Actually, don't sit back or relax. You should get off your ass and go do something,
Actually, pull out a pen and a sheet of paper if you have anything to do with Twitch, YouTube, or anything like that. And this is going to be a good episode for you to jog down some notes. Jog. I think jot down some notes is the
jog
phrase.
Down some notes.
Yeah.
You better be jogging while taking some notes.
This guy's really smart. He seems to know all of his shit when it comes to anything from advertisement to sponsors and everything in between. So if you're a new upcoming Twitch streamer, or you want to figure out how to get in to networking, or possibly pick up some sponsors, make sure and listen to this episode. And I'm sure you can feel free to contact this guy. We'll have all of his information up on the episode, and you can get in contact with him and see if he can help you out.
All right, guys. So, yeah, go do something, but also open a gold one.
Yeah. I just wanna crack that door with that boys, No more baby mamas, no more kids to watch, cause I got babysitters. Now it's time for licking, come on, give it to me, cause it's my escape. Now it's time to annihilate, let my troubles all die away. I'm on a diet, Please do not try this, cause do not invite it. I'm dripping in go call the Midas. This night I was excited, it got me reignited. I've been waiting so long I can't fight it, but now I'm Mike Tyson inside, I'm on fire.
Like I passed by your stream the other day, I watched some videos, and we'll get to a lot of that. But first, you mentioned on your Twitter and on your stream that you're involved in a ton of stuff. You named some of them on the stream.
I am.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. So you're involved in a bunch of stuff. And just for the listeners, so they kind of know everything you're involved in and what you do, just kind of explain some of the things you're doing right now.
So all this started with a couple years back. I started volunteering for a few LAN parties, a few events like that. And that's kind of gave me the taste of the gaming industry. And obviously I started streaming myself, and that's when everything kind of snowball effect. I started, doing the Twitch Auto Community Meetup. Back then it was called the Ottawa Online Meetup. Only because we couldn't use the Twitch name or anything like that due to obvious reasons.
Right. Once
we applied for the program and we had the credentials to apply for the program, we did, and now we're officially Twitch Ottawa. It's the we're part of the community meetup program, backed by Twitch. Nice. And then I started my own company. We do event management, marketing, for influencers, esports teams, anything and everything in the gaming industry. We do it. Video editing, photography, name it, we'll be there and help you out. And there's a lot of things that I'm part of. I'm also part of. I stepped down today. I was the strategic partnerships manager for Blue Esports.
Nice.
So it's an esports organization plus a stream team on Twitch. I stepped down from that position due to all the backlog of stuff that I do, right?
Yeah.
So with my company as well, I have clients, and it's not limited to esports. Like I'm working right now. I was working until about last month with it's a company that designs Kydex firearm holsters.
Nice.
They found out about my company and like, well, can you do marketing for us as well? I'm like, you know what? Sure. So let me step into that and help you guys out. So I did. And another one of my clients is the University of Ottawa, my city. Their esports teams for League of Legends and Counter-Strike. I'm setting them up with sponsors. Who else do I have as clients? This LAN center called Click Esports. So they have obviously like a bunch of computers, and they try to run more events. And I got them a partnership deal with Red Bull, with Red Bull Canada. So, you walk in there, you see a big Red Bull sticker, and they get a huge discount on items. And they'll, Red Bull will kind of pop in and drop some prizes and stuff like that every now and then for tournaments. What else do I do? I mean, I have my own channel. I have my own channel on Twitch I have my own channel on Twitch where I try to stream consistently. And I recently got, like I was saying earlier in this podcast, that I just recently got a job as the influencer manager for WeHype, which is it's a global online marketing tool. It's a platform where anyone on Twitch could sign in. So you log in with Twitch, and it'll pull in all of your data. So your concurrent viewership, your followage, your all the data that you can get from Social Blade. So your impressions on Instagram, your impressions on Twitter, all that kind of information, and it'll set you up with a company. For example, HyperX, SteelSeries, Logitech, anything like that. It'll set you up with clients that we have looking for someone like you. So rather than having the middleman, a community manager for a streamer deal with strategic partnership stuff, it's all on the platform. You get pre-approved for, a couple $100 to promote this headset on stream once or twice, and then 1 or 2 social media posts, or it could be something else. It could just be strictly social media posts about an energy drink or something like that.
Right.
So I'm starting with them, and obviously, like I said, I do have the background in influencer marketing, and I do have the background in digital marketing. The reason why I was saying it's a huge learning curve is because now it's on a global scale where I'm not dealing with one client at a time. I'm dealing with thousands of clients at a time because of the platform that's being designed.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, hang on. I'm going to get a pen, piece of paper, and start jotting stuff down. And I'm going to need to get your email, your phone number. Hang on a minute. So, basically, try to lump this into a big umbrella. You're a manager for anything game related over Twitch, everything right now, basically.
Yeah, so right now the platform with WeHype is strictly on Twitch, but we are expanding, and I do have background working with people on Mixer or YouTube Gaming, anything and anything. Like, you need something done, you call me.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
So basically you're the guy that you get in contact with if you want to get hooked up with some sponsors or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I forgot about a few things that I do. I also work with DreamHack Canada and Northern Arena. It just popped into my head, man.
Nice.
So actually, do I have a few pictures? Oh, I do have a few pictures. Let me drop it in Discord.
Yeah, man. I'll put them in the show notes for people to see for sure. That's crazy. You must be crazy busy. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Man, I thought I was a busy person. Now I feel like a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah, no shit.
So I was doing all this. Like, I was still doing all this with a full-time day job. And then my contract ran out end of March. So my contract was it end of March? It was end of March. So my contract ended at end of March. I used to work in the defense industry, and I was like, you know what? If this is not a sign for me to do this full time, what am I waiting for? It's not going to come back again. So I just kind of pushed. So I went to PAX East, made a bunch of connections. I got back from PAX East, and I got a job offer from WeHype. I'm like, this is amazing.
There it is.
And on top of working with WeHype, they're still allowing me to do contract work for events, which is what I really like doing, is event management. So I can still work with Northern Arena, which is a Canadian based esports event company. And I also work with DreamHack Canada. Obviously, headquarters for DreamHack is in Sweden, but I helped them out with their events recently. This past weekend, I was at Comic-Con in my city, and we had an entire area set up just for just for PCs, people to try them out, and we had a few competitions going just to give them a taste of what it is to come. Because for DreamHack Montreal, for the longest time, we had it at Place Bonaventure, which is a decent sized convention center. But obviously, with the rise of esports in North America, we have the Olympic Stadium in Montreal for our next event, which is 5 to 6 times the size.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's going to be an interesting event in September.
Yeah,
So are you stationed in Canada?
Yeah, so I'm based out of Ottawa, Canada.
Nice.
Nation's capital, baby.
That's awesome.
yeah, man. So have you ever, not to like expand even more on what you're doing, but like, have you ever thought of like, prying your fingers into the podcasting industry? Like that's totally on the same page with everything you can do. You could get so many people through that too.
Honestly, it has crossed my mind, to be completely honest. We, what was that at TwitchCon? It was at TwitchCon this past year. And it was a couple of shout outs coming out right here. It was myself, Rimo TV, Orion, and Drew. We woke up way before everybody else because it was a fun night, but like we didn't go too hard, so we woke up. I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's still passed out, so we're outside and we're just wait, are we allowed to swear on this podcast?
Oh
yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
So we're just fucking around, shooting the shit, and we're talking about everything that's happened the past weekend, some random stuff here and there, and we're like, you know what, we should just call, we should make our own podcast and call it Morning Trash Podcast, because we took a picture. I have to find that picture and send it to you guys. We took a picture and we're hungover as shit, and then my shirt's like inside out or something. Drew's shirt is like. Drew's wearing a sweater and it's like kind of slotched. And then I think Ryan was shirtless. I'm like, yo, Morning Trash Podcast.
Dude, that would be awesome. I would totally listen to that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, speaking of TwitchCon, man, like when I was in your stream the other day, you had a raid come in, which first of all, your raid, you have the Spartan thing, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's badass. And you like fucking, you do your whole like fist to heart, like, Spartans, what is your profession and shit. And then after that, you play a baller ass video of like, of you at TwitchCon, like all slow-mo, like you grabbing your bag, walking through TwitchCon, which was awesome.
I can send that video to you guys if you want to put it on the,
for sure.
If you guys want to put it on there. But I know it was a video that we did myself. Again, another shout out, Sir Scrallix or Scral. And it was a last minute thing. So we did that the last day of TwitchCon. We're leaving. That's me literally leaving and going to the Airbnb, packing up my shit. Nice. It's like, wait, we didn't do our video. Because for the longest time, like, it was the first time I met Scral at like in person. He's like, yo, we need to make a video together. Like, it's like, we've been talking about this for like years. I'm like, let's do it. So then on our way out, he's like, we didn't do the video. So we ended up doing it.
We can do it right now. So
let's do it right now. And he's like, what song do you want to put it on? Alan Walker Faded, because it's a sad song, it's a slow song. And obviously I didn't put the vocals because I didn't want to get my entire channel kind of striked or anything like that. So it's just it's instrumental, but you can tell it's a sad song. And I don't know if you saw, but like halfway through the video, you see me like pull like a tear, like, wipe a tear off my eye.
Yeah.
Because that video itself is just like, you're walking away from something that you like and you're like onto bigger and better things. That's like the music video that Alan Walker designed. So I'm like, let's try and replicate it at TwitchCon.
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome video. And you also mentioned in your stream that like that's almost like a snippet for a much longer video that you plan to put together, maybe from different TwitchCons. I'm not sure. Like, what are you planning on adding to that?
So for that one, because it says "Welcome to the party" at the end, we edited it and said, let's make it say "Welcome to the party," and that's what I'm going to put at the beginning of my stream. So if you were there at the beginning of the stream, I have a countdown clock about 10. Usually I do 10, sometimes 15, and let the clock run out, and then I start. And it's hey guys, welcome to the channel. What I'm thinking of doing is have the countdown go down, like have the countdown run out, and then put that video right after. Because we had a bigger idea of what we wanted to do as a raid response, and obviously we were limited in time because we had to get the fuck out of there and pack our shit and go home. We're like, okay, let's do this real quick. But this time it's gonna be planned, and we're not gonna fucking forget to the last second, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna take our time. It'll be fine.
That's awesome, man. So like with all the things you do with esports and everything, I'm not sure right now if you're working with any other esports, because you said you just stepped down from Blue Esports.
Yeah.
Are you working with any other esports companies at the moment?
No. So right now I'm not working with any esports organizations. I am part of one. I moved over to an esports org called Contraband Gaming. And so I'm just a streamer. They did ask me to if I wanted to help out with the org. I'm like, well, listen, I can't anymore because of my day job. My day job would just reconnected. My day job would just it'd be a conflict of interest, right? Because I would get contacts from my day job, or I would get opportunities from my day job, and it wouldn't be right for me to kind of just say, you know what, yeah, I'll do some work for you guys, and then send you all of these contracts when I should be finding other people.
Right.
So with the tweet that you have pinned on your Twitter,
Yes.
So you do still currently have a day job? Because I like from the tweet, I thought like what I got out of it was that you like quit everything else and you're putting full force on the gaming industry.
So that tweet was on March 26th. So the tweet was on March 26th, and that was because that was the day that I was notified that my contract is not getting renewed with the defense industry. So I was like, you know what? The second I got the notification in the morning, I walked out. Walked out, went across the street to get some coffee, and I posted this. I'm like, listen, if anyone needs anything in the esports domain, this is my experience. And obviously, well, the connection was really bad in my office. It's not that I can't bring my phone. It's an old building, and obviously,
right.
So I had my phone on me the entire day. I walk out to go to my car, and then the parking garage, and then the second it reconnects, man, I don't know if you see this, like the stats for this: 57 retweets, 11 comments, 86 likes, and I think the impression on this tweet itself had 47,000 impressions.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay. And that's when I got approached. I got approached by a lot of people. And I was given interviews. Some of them I obviously they sat down with me, they talked to me like over a call or something, and I didn't get it because they found somebody else that's qualified. But because of that tweet, and people don't understand that like social media, it's essential for these kind of stuff, because especially Twitter, because things go viral, and the fact that this went viral, I'm like how, you know, like. No, but for real, like how? And then I got a bunch of DMs from people saying, "Hey, we see that you're going to PAX East," because at the time I switched my name to Jason, PAX East soon or something, and boom, flooded with messages on direct messages saying, "Hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. We'd be interested in just sitting down and talking. It's not a formal interview, but we just want to talk to you." I'm like, okay, cool. So a bunch of companies did that. Some of them I didn't get the chance to meet them there. Some of them called me when I got back. So there's a lot of opportunities. And then, like I said, when I got back, I was offered the position with WeHype, and I signed the other day with them after negotiating the contract. I signed with them the other day, and here I am, full-time gaming industry job.
Nice. So with your own business that you run, like, of course, with us as a podcast, we've been contacting other streamers, YouTubers, and a lot of the times we have to go through like a business manager for that person. And of course, if they're a bigger streamer, they're busy, they don't have time to take care of that. So they have somebody that answers their email and stuff like that. Do you have clients from Twitch that you handle, or have you not got into that part? Or
the thing with my company is I don't want to remove that completely. I just want to remove the task for partnership acquisition, because partnership acquisition itself takes so much time, so much time. But like you said, a lot of these streamers have community managers where, like you said, they reply to emails, they reply to opportunities, and that's who I deal with.
So you're the one that contact the
exactly. So let's say I'll contact a streamer. Let's just say I'll contact Asen, or I'll contact Nathan, and Jason is their community manager. They'll say yes to the opportunity that I have, and then they'll CC their community manager, and that's who I deal with.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I'm not like 100, because I've never streamed, so I'm not familiar with how the partnership for Twitch works. Like, what is so I guess difficult about it? Because I know part of it is getting the viewers and the subscribers to get to the partnership level, but at that point, like what do they have to do to get those companies? Like, is it just contacting all of them and not knowing what to say, things like
Well,
that?
see,
Or?
it's different for every case, right? So some people, like you said, it's hard for them to find the person to contact directly. I don't know. What am I drinking right now? I'm just drinking a water bottle from Costco. Hold up. You know, it's like, okay, for example, Costco. You want a partnership deal with Costco. You're going to go on the website and email their generic information email. No, you're going to hit up their marketing team. And through the stuff that I've been doing for the last, 5 to 6 years, I know exactly who to contact for what, like for specific companies. Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Even just for that, man, like I completely agree with it being difficult, because even for getting guests on the podcast, like some of the guests we've had on are very difficult to contact at first. And so you have to jump through a lot of hoops. You don't know where they're actually checking. So yeah, that's a huge help to streamers to have that, like you said, the middleman cut out, or in this case, you're actually the middleman to getting them what they need to get without them having to do much. But that's awesome. That's awesome. So other than that, so you're not doing esports at the moment. Do you plan to get back into that at some point? Like you said, you're with Contraband Gaming. Do you plan to kind of, I guess, spread out into other esports organizations as well, or just kind of staying with one?
So what I'm thinking of doing right now is just, this is going to be hard. No, actually, no, it shouldn't be too hard to explain. For my day job, everything that's related to partnership acquisition, everything that has related to marketing, anything that's related to work in the gaming industry, I'm going to leave that to my day job. And anything that's related to my personal channel, I'm going to leave it to my personal channel. So for Contraband Gaming, I'm just going to be a streamer. I'm not going to do anything more than that. But if they request services from the company I work with, obviously I will work with them then.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I could see a lot of conflict of interest and shit coming into play, because I don't know, how many different, esports teams or whatever you can be a part of before they're like, all right, you've got, you're branched into too many, we don't want our site being advertised with somebody else's site or something like that. But like, is there a certain amount of people you can have as sponsors before people start backing away saying no, we don't want to sponsor you?
No. It depends though, because there's sometimes, like you said, there's a conflict of interest within your sponsors. For example, HyperX, if you decide to be sponsored by HyperX and Logitech, you have to have it defined in the fine print that HyperX is only a sponsor for my keyboard and mouse. My headset and my webcam is going to be from Logitech.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that sounds like a mess.
Yeah. Having to do stuff like that.
It is.
No, I could definitely see that though. But then, I mean, at the same time, you get someone like, for example, like Shroud, that we were just watching on Twitch. Like, I don't think the companies care as much about a conflict of interest because they're getting their name out there so much with someone like Shroud. He still would probably have to do something like that though, as far as, differentiating what he's using. If he has HyperX and Logitech, I'm not even sure what he has as a sponsor.
So for bigger streamers like that, it's a lot easier. Not for them to reach out to sponsors, but sponsors reach out to the streamer themselves, right? So someone like Shroud, again, name dropping, Tim the Tatman, Ninja, Doc, like anyone that's huge, and Munition, like guaranteed that the companies are going to see them directly.
Yeah.
So my clientele is anyone that's in between just starting and that level. So I'm going with people that are in between.
Yeah. People like, just now gaining partnership with Twitch.
Or people that have been partnered for a while, but they don't have, hundreds of thousands of viewers. Right. They still have the viewers, they still have the followage. But they need that extra little bit of help to get, partners on board. There's a few of them where I made their presentation deck or partnership deck. So that pretty much what that is just, it's a document. You just design 8 to 10 slides of what exactly the channel is about, and what they can do to promote your product. So you put in all their social media impressions. You put in the community engagement, like do they go to events, or what kind of events do they go to? Do they do charity events? Do they do this? You put that all into a nice document and you format it properly. And like I said, I've been doing this for so long that I know exactly what companies are looking for in terms of a deck. So, and that's why I offered my services. This all started off as like a favor to a couple of my streamer friends, and at that point, I just looked at it and I was like, maybe I should do this full time, or maybe I should do this as a business. And shout out to Patrick from HyperX, the Canadian marketing director, that told me that I should definitely start my own company. You're the best.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's really amazing that you're into so many different things, because that it's just going to get better and better in the future, for your portfolio or like a resume, for, potentially working for even like Cloud9 or something.
Exactly.
Which, that's awesome. So for all our past guests on this show and any streamers that are listening, you need to contact Jason, and you need to like shower him with ones until he gets you what you need.
I feel like I need to be billed for this episode. Like, I feel like he needs to bill me so that I can pay him for the information. For people that are just starting out streaming, or I mean, even for us, new people on the scene, if you don't mind giving out a little bit of advice, like what's the best way to boost, your network? Like, would it be, social media, like sponsoring, like paying for, broadcasting of your social media, or is it literally going to, PAX and TwitchCon and all the other cons and branching out networking in person? Like, what is the best way to get your name out there?
100%
for a new
100% networking, man. 100% networking. Going out
like
to
social networking, or
going to
like
conventions,
personal networking?
Personal networking. So going to conventions, or going out to local events. Like I said, Twitch Ottawa is a local event, because obviously some people can't make it out to every single convention.
Right.
Where are you guys from?
I'm
don't mind me asking.
from Oklahoma.
Okay.
He's in Oklahoma. I'm in Seattle.
Okay, so both those cities have streamer meetups. So definitely check out that. Try and find their socials. I think Seattle is SOBA. It's a Seattle Online Broadcasters Association or something like that. And definitely go out to those events and meet more locals. Hang out with them. Become. It doesn't have to be. Go talk to them and ask them to host you. No, just be their.
Right.
Become their friend. And honestly, 100%. That's how you grow as a person, first of all.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
Making friends on the scene, and for sure they're going to help you out as much as they can. For me, when I started off on Twitch, the first person I met was Ala Broccoli, and she is the sweetest person ever. She introduced me to Tim. She introduced me to Skrull. She introduced me to everybody that I know so far, right? Because of
Right.
I met Tin, I met Skrull, they hosted somebody else, I met somebody else, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it's basically that's what it is. My advice is to network, and not like, obviously there's etiquette, right? So you can't just go on the channel saying, "Hey, I also stream." No, that's
right. That's a boot.
Yeah, stream. Can you host me, dude?
That's a no-no.
Hello.
That's a no-no. When people see that you're active in their community, they and you start asking questions about a few things, like in the Discord or like off stream, they have the tendency. They're more willing. Sorry, not the tendency, but they're more willing to help you out afterwards, right? If they see you as an active member of the community, and that's how you learn, right? That's how you learn from a few things. Trust me, I've done a lot of big no-nos in terms of etiquette on Twitch when I first started. 100%. I'm not going to deny it. And it's through networking and meeting these people, and then sitting down and talking to them, like, okay. And they said, okay, you did this on stream. I don't want to call you out on stream, but don't say this, you should be doing. I'm like, oh shit, like my bad. Like I did not know.
My bad.
My bad. Yeah, I mean, you learn from the mistakes you make. I mean, that's the biggest thing of getting your name out there is you'll probably fuck up at some point. You know,
Oh, trust me,
you
I've
just gotta,
fucked up so many times, and not just in terms of like my gaming industry career up to date, but like everything that I've done, and like in just my you know day job kind of thing, like office job career, right? So you always learn from all the mistakes that you make.
yeah. Yeah. The reason
Yeah.
Nathan even asked is we have been back and forth on what we need to like, we were thinking about going to TwitchCon, for example. And I know I'm in Seattle, like PAX West is here. I think, I don't know if it is here every time, cause I'm not sure
Oh yeah, it
if
is.
they switch it from like Seattle to LA or something, but,
PAX West is always in Seattle.
yeah, yeah. So I'll have to look into that since I'm here. But that's what we were debating on, is like which convention to go to, because for Nathan, for example, in Oklahoma, there's probably smaller local events, but there's no, huge events. Like PAX South is like Dallas, I'm pretty sure, or somewhere down there
San
Yeah.
Antonio.
in Texas,
Yeah, Texas.
San Antonio. Yeah. So Texas. So it's like for him, it's almost like a flight anywhere to go anywhere. So it's kind of
That
difficult
sucks.
for him. And so that's why we were trying to kind of gauge down, which one we need to go to. And we're kind of considering TwitchCon, because it's just, a lot of our guests are Twitch streamers, and we're trying to get more into that community to network in there. But
TwitchCon would be a huge opportunity because for me anyways, I started my company I think the week after TwitchCon, and it's just like I said, it's just going there, talking to a few people, and not necessarily wanting to do business. It's just sitting down, well, not sitting down, but like walking by the booth and talking to them, chit chatting. It's like, hi, my name is Jason. This is what I do, and I like your products. Just chit chatting. The first booth that I went to at TwitchCon 2017, and this is the first convention I go out of country. I went to Logitech.
Right.
I just went to Logitech. I use the webcams. This is not a plug. Most people use Logitech webcams. Am I right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
So I went to them. I went to their booth, and I started talking to one of their marketing managers. And the second we started talking, she right away told me, she's like, "Hey, by the way that you present yourself, the way that you're talking about all this stuff, partnership stuff, we think that you." And she was like, "I think you should definitely apply. Like, you should probably apply for the esports partnership manager that we have. It's an open position, and put me as reference." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, man.
so."
Okay.
Like after a half an hour conversation, this is what came out of that. Not only that, but I got a bunch of swag. Like I got a new mouse. I got a Logitech, the C922, and a T-shirt from Logitech. And she's like, "Oh, like before you leave, here you go." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What?
Oh, yeah.
What? What just happened?"
What just happened? Yeah, what just happened? I mean, like, even worst case scenario, you go have a good time at TwitchCon. Like
Right.
worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And honestly,
So,
this
yeah,
is
we're-
back. This was back in obviously October when I only had 200 followers on Twitch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the fact that this happened at a booth for a vendor, a high end vendor, I was thrown away. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, man, that's awesome. We definitely need to look into. Are you planning on going to this year's TwitchCon?
yes, I do.
So last year you went. Was it your first year going?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, that's something definitely we need to look into. But anyway, so now you're streaming now. How long have you actually been streaming? Like seriously, I guess.
I've been streaming. I want to say July 2015.
Oh damn.
They've been doing it for a
July
little bit.
2015. Yeah, I've been doing it for a little bit. Obviously, I'm not huge on Twitch still, but that's fine. Everybody grows on at their own pace.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And I've like I said, I've grown exponentially within the last few weeks. Just the last few weeks itself. I went from I think 400 now to 605 followers, and that's just like I said, it's networking and keeping on the grind and not giving up and keeping that mentality that stream like nobody's watching. And what they
Right.
mean by that is they don't mean, you know, stream and
Not saying
and just like do whatever. It's no stream as if nobody's watching, as in, you know, talk to yourself and say like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't think I should do this, but you know, I can do this, or oh, he might do this, or just say, oh, you know, this is how my day went, blah blah blah. This is what I did last week. Keep talking to yourself, because the first 30 seconds is gonna make or break if a viewer stays in your channel.
Right.
Right. So if you guys came into my channel and I wasn't talking, would you guys have stayed in my channel?
Probably not.
Exactly.
I mean, I stayed for the badass video. So that worked.
I mean, I get what he's saying. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You have to be interactive. Even like if your viewer count is 0, you still have to be interactive for that chance that somebody pops in and they start watching you. If you're just sitting there staring at your screen, you know, playing a game, they're like, "What the fuck? You know, what's this guy doing?" You're like, "Go away."
Oh, I see so many. I see so many of those streams. Like you go in to someone, because I do like to browse and just see what, like, you know, people with one viewer, like what they're doing, you know, just to see how they're doing. And I go in there and a lot of them are like that, where either they're not even on cam, or if they're on cam, they're not saying anything to anyone and they're just gaming. And that, I mean, that's not good for growing a community, for sure. You want to interact as much as you can, even with no one there. You need to be talking, like you said.
That's the hardest thing about. Oops, sorry. That's the hardest thing about just streaming competitive games. When I started, I strictly streamed Counter-Strike because I love that game.
Yeah,
and I was really good at it. But I wouldn't interact with chat because I was busy, you know, watching Cat, or I was busy, I don't know, going down mid, or covering CT, or covering T-spawn, or whatever, A-ramp, whatever. Like I was busy doing something physically in game. It was, Jason's busy right now. Hold on, chat.
Jason's busy right now. Yeah.
So that's why I mean, when I first started streaming, I always had like 1 or 2 people, and they're just friends of mine that I met through Twitch. Like it was either Skralton or Ali or whatever. She, you know, she was in or they were in, just kind of kicking it.
Yeah, I think that's how everyone probably starts, is, you know, with a few friends, watching them, helping them out.
Yeah, and that's a perspective. That's why, like, I changed my perspective of streaming, saying, okay, I can't stream competitive games. Even nowadays, when I stream Fortnite, every single game that I play for fun, even if it's a competitive game, because of that factor. Right. You get to it, like I'll play. Let's say I'll play Counter-Strike on stream now. I'll just, you know, I'll shoot the shit while I'm playing. You know, I'll play pistols only or something with my squad, or shotguns only with my squad, just to screw around. So, you know, we're still entertaining. But you best believe off stream, I am sweating.
He's that sweaty guy.
Yeah, dude. No, I completely agree with you in the sense that, like, if you're unknown and you haven't been on like an esports team or something like that, and you try to go to Twitch to grow your community as a competitive streamer,
it's hard.
It's
hard.
It's very, very, very hard. Like, even if you own even if you're getting like, you know, 15 wins a game on Fortnite, like every time you stream, like 15 wins, like even then you're going to be struggling because of the interaction with the stream. Like you have to learn to talk to yourself. You have to become like a crazy person and just start talking to yourself. And then, you know, people comment on you talking to yourself, and, you know, you can start interacting with them. But yeah, that's really hard to do with competitive games. Now, like once, like, let's say, I actually did this with Tin as well. So let's say you woke up like a week from now and you got on your stream and bam, you have 11,000 people watching you. Like at that point, would you consider actually switching into that like mode where, you know, it's too much for you to handle, where you can't really interact with every single person because your chat's just going fucking crazy with like exclamation point hype. So the whole time that's happening, would you consider switching to a competitive game where people are watching you for that?
No. And I say no because I would still try to interact with chat. Even if I get one line out of the, you know, thousands of people writing something, I would still try to interact with chat, because it shows that you're engaged not only in the game, but with your viewers. And let's be 100% real. That's what people on Twitch watching you, that's what they're looking for, the interaction. Right.
Oh, for sure.
Because if they want to see, if they just want to see gameplay, they can go anywhere else to watch that. They can go on YouTube to watch just gameplay and no interaction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not me throwing shade at YouTube at all. That's just saying like some videos are just montages.
Yeah.
Right.
But if someone's viewing, like if someone's watching you stream on Mixer or on Twitch or on YouTube itself, like they're there because they want to see the interaction. They want to talk to you, right? They want to see like the back and forth.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Like, some 13-year-old watching Shroud, like, throws up a poggers and Shroud comments on it. That like just made that dude's life.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
he's the happiest person in the world. But yeah, that's completely true for sure. It would just be very difficult, I would imagine, at that point with 11,000 people watching you. Like even with Tim, the Tap Man, with Shroud and all of them, they interact with their chats. It's just on a very intermittent basis, and I think it makes sense at that level.
Because the other day, or not last week, what was I do? I was streaming really late. So because of my job, obviously time differences, I usually work later hours and get up later just for time zone issues. So I was streaming very late. And it was the first time I did a really late stream. And by really late, I mean from 11 p.m. till about 4 a.m. is when I streamed. And I got rated by every single person that I know on Twitch finishing up because they have a day job.
Yeah.
Right.
I had so many. It was up to the point where I had consistently 250 people watching me for about an hour or two, and chat was rolling, and I'm like, oh my god, how do people do this?
What the hell do I do now?
Help! I need help.
Yeah,
I need adults.
Did you play that? Did you play that raid video like 6 times for every
Yeah, I
person?
played it 6 times and everyone was loving it. Everyone's loving it. I'm like, this is awesome. And they stayed after that. I'm like, yo, this is exactly why I have my raid response video.
That's
So
awesome.
chat was rolling like a mile a minute. And I like I said, I would catch like one sentence every like 30, but I still try to interact with them.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I've never understood is like even sometimes the bigger streamers will read out like a 3-sentence fucking paragraph. I was like, I don't know if they can stop their chat. Like if they see something, they can like click on it and it stops so they could read the whole thing. But I know that thing is scrolling so fast and they'll like read off like a paragraph. I'm like, how did they have time to read that? I couldn't even see it.
Well, sometimes like chat's delayed, right? For Twitch, chat's delayed. Mixer, it's not.
Right.
Well, Twitch now you can do a non-delayed. And if you have a chat bot, you can always scroll back and forth, and it keeps the log of all the messages that were sent through it. Twitch chat won't. I think after a certain point, Twitch chat will just kind of you will no longer be able to scroll all the way up. Right? Just keep pushing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jeez.
what Tin was talking about, something like a slow mode too, isn't there? Like a where you can slow down chat.
Yeah. So there's a slow mode on Twitch where I think it's you can set it yourself, and it could be either a minute or it could be 2 minutes or a certain amount of time. Where if chat's rolling a mile a minute, or people are just spamming bullshit in chat, or just spamming random shit. No, it happens. It happens all the time.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Yeah, Twitch chat. I know.
Yeah.
I'll be watching, especially when you watch Counter-Strike events, or especially when you watch like Dota events or League of Legends events.
Right.
Something happens and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's bad," or "This girl's bad." It's like, and it's every single person in chat, the thousands, the hundreds of thousands of people posting it. Okay, and then the moderators of that chat just clicks, okay, RK9 or R9K mode or slow mode, and then boom, you can only post one thing every like 2 minutes, and that you best believe people will stop posting bullshit because they won't be able to post anything after that.
Yeah.
They can't enter in the giveaways.
Yeah, man.
That's funny.
Have you ever thought about like experiencing with Mixer, or are you planning to exclusively stay with Twitch as far as streaming?
So my advice, okay, so for me anyways, I'm gonna stick with Twitch because that's where I grew.
He's already partnered.
No, I'm not partnered. I'm affiliated on Twitch. I'm affiliated on Twitch, and this is where I want to stay on because I know so many people, so many influencers, and a lot of my friends are here on Twitch, and I've grown my community here on Twitch. So for me, going to Mixer, I would have to start off fresh. But Mixer is a good platform. I know there's a lot of shade being sent over to Mixer because it doesn't have the same amount of viewership as Twitch, but it is a good platform. They have some good features. One of the features I really like is the co-stream. So I don't know if you've been to Tin Stream or if you've been to a stream where two people are streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
Streaming together, and it's like, oh, here's the multi-Twitch link if you want to watch people.
Mm-hmm. I've seen the multi-Twitch link, but that's annoying sometimes.
So on Mixer, if you are doing a co-stream or if you're streaming somebody else, it'll put both streams onto one screen. So like you have like, you know, Jason's screen, all these gameplay, and then Nathan's stream, all of his gameplay right there in two separate boxes, and then chat is one box for both of you guys, for both of us.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So you're both reading
I
one
like that
chat.
idea.
You're both reading one chat, and it's not a nuisance for both of the people streaming.
Right.
Because I could be having a conversation with somebody in my channel, and you could be having a conversation with somebody in your channel, and we're like talking over each other on stream, which doesn't look really good.
Right.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean, Mixer definitely has some good features. I've been popping over there every once in a while now, because I actually just recently learned about it. So I'm kind of going over there, you know, every once in a while to see what's going on. I don't know anyone there, and I've also never heard of anyone there. So obviously the really big people that have grown their communities on Twitch aren't, you know, jumping ship or anything like that, just because that would be a huge blow to their community. But yeah, I think it's an up and coming.
Well, not necessarily.
Sure.
There's a few people that I know that they jump ship from Twitch to Mixer, and their community followed them. Which, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
that's pretty dope.
Like I was saying to Tin last week, if someone like Shroud were to switch, like he just announced it and he did it, I still think he would keep like 70% of his viewers. There'd probably be, you know, a number that doesn't follow him because, you know, maybe they don't like something about Mixer, I don't know, or they just like Twitch as is. But I still think there would be some loss, but it depends. I mean, there's some that will completely jump ship with you. So
well, even mid-level streamers. I know one person that's a mid-level streamer, and her community followed her over to Mixer the day that she announced, like, I no longer want to do, you know, I don't want to do push the partnership because I've done it so many times, and every time like I never get, you know, partnered. And she moved over to Mixer, and right now she's really close to getting partnered on Mixer after like 4 months. So
Nice.
it depends on the community, right? It depends on the community that you build.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like so that's another thing I'm curious about, just because I've never streamed. How does the quote unquote push to partnership work? Like what do you have to apply for something? Is there like
the requirements?
Yeah, like I guess what are the requirements, and does Twitch vote on it, or how does that work?
So before it was so I don't know if you guys have noticed. Well, if you guys start streaming your podcast on Twitch, you'll notice that there's achievements that you get as you go along in your streams. Before the achievement section, I guess, of your dashboard, it was really up in the air. Nobody really knew what the requirements were for partnership. They didn't really know what the viewer count was supposed to be, like the followage, you know, et cetera, et cetera. The list can go on and on for requirements. But with the achievement section of your dashboard, you know the gist of it. So it says you have to have an average of 75 concurrent viewership. You have to stream this many days in a month, and you have to stream for this many hours in a month. That's the basis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
it could be above that, it could be below that. You don't know. And once you hit that, once you hit those 3 requirements, your application, you're invited to apply for it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what does that entail?
So that means
like the actual application.
The official application is just, you know, you send in your application and it gets reviewed, and then they go through all the logistics, they go through all the analytics and see if, you know, if these were all actual viewers, they weren't bots, or if it's a toxic community or not. I honestly, I don't even know sometimes of, you know, I don't even know the requirements, or I don't even know what they analyze, but it gets analyzed by their partnership team, and then they make a decision. The person taking that case file ends up making a decision whether or not you're partnered.
Yeah, I could definitely see a streamer getting frustrated if they've done it several times and they keep getting denied to jump ship to Mixer. That would be frustrating.
Well, because they updated their TOS, right? The terms of services were updated, and it's no longer just your behavior on Twitch. It's also your behavior, on social media, in person. That's
so garbage.
But it's so the TOS is vague, but it is a good thing, because I know that some people, and I don't want to go into too much details about this.
Yeah.
But no, it's just that some people, they're just a bad human being.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
They're
You know what I mean? Like they're aggressive. They harass everyone they see. Like this.
They're a troll, basically.
They're someone you can invite
troll.
onto the morning trash episode, right?
No, there's something I don't bring on. We have standards, man.
Even the trash has standards.
But in all seriousness, that's what it is. It's because Twitch is a community where Twitch is a community in itself where everyone, it's an escape for people. For me, myself, a couple years back, before I even found Twitch, I was in the worst place of my life. Like I was, I was really bad depression. I didn't have a job. I just finished school. I wasn't sure what I was doing. And then just from being on Twitch and meeting people on Twitch and just how nice the people were, how welcoming, and how, just that feeling of being part of a community, just that helped me get out of a rut, like a bad place, and just brought me to, I'm like, maybe I'll get out of bed this day. Maybe I'll do this, maybe do a few things today. And then that small list of things became a huge list of things. And I'm so thankful for the first few people that I met on Twitch, Chin, Skral, and Aloe, because this is where I am. I would not be here today if it wasn't for them. That got me out of that really small spot of my life.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that's one of the things I see on Twitch a lot. Like people put in the donos to have the messages pop up. And, when I first saw it, it was always, it comes up all the time. Like, thanks for streaming. I appreciate you every day. I was going through a really bad time, and, you as a streamer having your stream on has helped me pull through so many things. And I saw that so much, and the first couple times I saw it, I was like, oh, they're just, thirsting for attention or trying to get their name out there. And then I continued seeing it. And then I actually talked to people like you that said, that same kind of story. I was like, man, it makes sense. Like, Twitch has become not only a place for people to get on and broadcast and, make a job out of it. It's become a place for friends to hang out.
Exactly.
And, meet new people and all that kind of stuff. And the older generation doesn't see it. Like, my parents still give me shit all the time. Like, all you do is sit down at your computer when you get home from work and play video games. I'm like, that's what we do in this generation. Like, I go to work every day, I work hard, and I come home, I have a wife, and, we do our thing. And then when I've got nothing else to do, if I'm not hanging out with like my IRL friends, I'm on Twitch or in somebody else's community hanging out with people that I know online. And it's what we do.
It's something that they don't understand. And when I was doing the push for the job and industry, and I was, buying equipment for my company, buying this, getting my company incorporated, my parents were like, what are you doing? Like, why are you
wasting your time?
Yes. You're wasting your time.
I hate that.
I'm like, okay. All I said was, give me a couple months.
Right.
I was like, just give me a couple months. I'm like,
give me a
couple months. Just, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, whatever, I'll stop. And here I am.
You should have heard my parents whenever, because I actually met my girlfriend online through gaming. And
that's awesome. That's awesome.
And you should have heard my parents when I told them that. They're like, "What? Hello? What? Online? What?"
About killing.
I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, this is just what we do. Like, the online community is international. I mean, like, you can talk to someone across the world in like 2 seconds, like it's just, that's where it's headed. But yeah, that kind of actually brings me to our last segment, which is around the random thought of the day. We've actually already burned through a freaking hour.
Oh,
crazy.
Wow. Yeah, we did.
But it kind of ties into that. with esports and with streaming being so international, like, would you consider esports to start being a professional sport, like worldwide, where in the sense that like its viewership, maybe not in our generation, like maybe when we're old and like the next generation has come through, do you think it'll be like this worldwide viewership of, billions of people?
So what do you consider the definition of professional sports?
Well, I mean, I would actually, I mean, the answer, if I were to answer that question, I think I would consider it a professional sport because they're professionals that are being paid to do it. I guess the thought more is, do you think it'll become like a global thing?
Like as big as the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics, or, a country having their own Overwatch team to go against another country, like stuff like that.
The reason why I asked that question was because professional athletes, or like people that do sporting professionally, it's their day job, they have similar traits in common with professional esports players, right?
Mm-hmm.
They train day in, day out. They compete at large scale events. It's similar traits like that. That it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the person's sitting down and doing something, gaming, or if someone's sitting down playing chess. It's professionally. Chess is done professionally. People play poker professionally, and it's a sport. It's considered a sport.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of. I think it's like you said with how our parents see what we're doing in the gaming community. It's a lot to do with the older generation not really understanding. Not just, I don't even know how to say this. They don't understand this kind of community or this kind of stuff because they didn't grow up playing video games. They didn't grow up watching Shroud kick ass on CS:GO at DreamHack or at Bell, right? But it is the last CS:GO event, one of the last majors for E-League, they hit 1.6 million viewership in the finals. That's a lot. That's a lot of people watching.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people watching.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that I guess the next follow up to that is, if it becomes a global scale, do you think it'll be one game that kind of takes the cake, like something as big as Fortnite, to take the cake on like some sort of global esport? I don't
think there'll ever be one game that'll take over everything. Just like in the Olympics, you have multiple events happening at the same time, or multiple events happening during the Olympics. So I think it'll be very similar to traditional Olympics. So where you'll have solo queue for Fortnite or solo queue for PUBG, and then you'll have Counter-Strike, and then you have Dota, and then you'll have Rocket League, and then you have Overwatch. This. So it'd be different events happening throughout the entire Olympic.
Yeah,
the esports Olympics is coming, dude. They're gonna have nationwide teams that compete in different games and event. It's coming. Give it 10 years and we'll have an esports Olympics.
Oh, for sure. For sure sooner than that, man. For sure sooner than that, I believe.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this the other day, how it would be awesome to see if, these esports organizations, if they put together a team of 5, and those 5 have to, like, they can't switch anyone out. It's those 5 guys, and they're put through like a medley of different games to compete. Where they kind of, it's kind of like a basketball team in a way where, you can't just be like, oh, we're going to have 5 point guards because they're really good at that position. You kind of have to diversify, like, all right, so out of our 5 players, if we're going to be competing in Rocket League against this other team, we have to have at least one guy that's really good at Rocket League, and the other 2 can kind of be all right. But like, just have a medley of games that they'd have to go through, and then one winner comes out on top. I think that'd be really interesting to see.
They did something similar for the first few PUBG tournaments, because for the first few PUBG tournaments, they did solos, duos, and a full squad. And let's say Luminosity, or let's say Fnatic, or let's say FaZe sends out a team of I think it's 4. It used to be 5, but now it's 4. So those 4 players will compete in all of those events. So they'll all compete individually. They'll split up into 2s and do duos, and then they'll come back together as a full squad and play as a full squad.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But anyway, Jason, I've had a lot of fun, dude. You're freaking a genius in this. Like,
No, man, it's all
Master
self-taught,
Hatter,
man. It's
dude.
all self-taught. You put in the effort, you put in the time, anything can be done. Anything and everything can be done.
yeah, for sure. It's just like you had so much knowledge on that side of the partnership and all that I had little to no information on. So like that filled in a lot of gaps. So that was a lot of fun for me to hear about it all. But I hope you had fun as well. And if people want to like reach out to you or come watch you stream, anything like that, like throw out some plugs. What do you got?
All right, a few plugs. If you want to join the Spartans, if you want to join Masters Legion, twitch.tv/MasterSitak. Literally all my socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of it is MasterSitak. I usually post a bunch of random stuff on Twitter. I shit post a lot, so be warned.
Awesome, man.
But thanks for having me on
I'll
here.
make
Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate you guys sitting down and talking to me for this hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, it was a
man.
lot of fun.
For sure. Yeah. If I ever have any questions, I'll be like, you need to come for another hour and ask some questions.
Right.
Content.
You might be receiving an email. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll make sure all that is in the show notes, and you can send me the raid video if you want. Any pictures from TwitchCon, I'll put all that in the show notes for people to look into if they want to explore that. And of course, guys, check them out. Other than that, any last thoughts?
Nope, not really.
All right.
We Gucci.
All right, guys.
Gucci.
Well, we will see you guys next week.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't, we would love to hear your feedback, which can be sent to coldonepodcast@gmail.com, or leave a review of what you thought on iTunes. It really does help us make this experience better for you, the listener. If you would like more contact with us, you can follow us on social media. Just look for @Cold1Podcast on Twitter and Facebook. All this information can be found at our website, actionsperminute.net. You can also get a hold of us pretty much every day by joining the APM Network Discord, which is also on the website. And lastly, if you like what we do, tell your friends, your family, your enemies, and coworkers about it. Thanks, guys. And remember, don't drink and drive.